Yes, it's me, the new and improved. That's right, new and improved. So today we are talking about sneaky little John Kerry. That's right, sneaking around, working with Iran in order to thwart Trump and save his incompetent nuke deal. Well, I worked very, very hard on that deal, and no one's going to take this away from me. It's my crowning achievement as the Secretary of State. Yeah, working hard with world leaders to undermine U.S. foreign policy. He's trying to salvage the Iran deal, engaging in unusual diplomacy with top-ranking Iranian official. That isn't the only thing this guy's been doing. Now, in previous episodes, I even touched on this subject of this guy, John Kerry, clearly in violation of the Logan Act. This person has not, he's not filed the paperwork as a foreign, whatever they call it, foreign agent, what have you. He's done none of this. Yet here he is with his buds, people who have sworn to destroy America. And he's there just, trying to salvage this stupid deal. It was a dumb deal in the first place. What? You want to kill us? Well, if you're going to kill us, you're going to need these nuclear weapons. What an idiot. What a dummy. Not only that, that's treasonous behavior there, sir. You, sir, are a traitor. I suggest that you arrest this man. I suggest that this man be arrested. It's not because I dislike this person. I dislike what he's doing. He's not making us safe, that's for sure. That's not making us safe at all. Ridiculous. Ridiculous type of stuff. But this is that shadowy government. That shadowy oboe government. They're shadowy. They're in the shadows. I mean, let's size him up. Get him fitted for a suit for Guantanamo because, my goodness, those are things that you actually aren't allowed to do. Not allowed to do that. Just like Obama sneaking around in Korea after Trump did his roundabout whirlwind tour of Asia last year. Then you had Obama telling him, now look, this is how we're going to do it. I know he told you some things, but just ignore it. That's treason too, guys. That's treason too. Double up. Traitorous shit going on. Traitor. So today, the 6th, yes, we have Iran planning on firing a barrage of missiles at Israel using Shiite militias in Syria. Now, their reasoning for that has to do with the fact that, so this comes after an attack by Israel last month that killed 7 members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard in Syria. And so, as you know, Iran has forces in Syria and controls Hezbollah, a terrorist organization in Lebanon. So, well, as far as Iran is concerned, I guess my advice to them is to get out of Syria and get out of Lebanon. Jeez. Breaking news. Rep. Nunez, House Intel will move to hold Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Stealth Jeff, in contempt. Yeah. Stealth Jeff, where you at? Yo, dog. Ben, are you there or what? Are you there? Because you are supposed to take care of these things. Okay? We have some clear violations of the law. And these are things that you're supposed to take care of. So, where are you at, Stealth Jeff? Stealthus Jeffers. Stealthus Jeffersa. Where are you at, Sessions? I'm serious, yo. You got some serious crimes happening. Serious crimes. Day for Freedom attendee violently attacked with bike lock by Antifa. Antifa? Well, they're going all out. They are going all out. Cultural enrichment. Historic Athens Park turned into unsanitary hellhole by migrants. Yeah. That's what happens when you invite millions of people into your country and you don't have any place to put them. Treasonous behavior by the members of the EU. What were they thinking? What a bunch of dummies. They're like, oh, yeah, we need to make up our own army. Yeah, you better sit down. Sit down. The EU will be disbanded. It'll be disbanded. The EU was a bureaucracy that was built to tie together forcefully all of those nations in Europe. Okay, so those nations were denominated that way because the people on either side of each one of those borders didn't actually get along very well. I don't know if you guys have studied history at all, but history's been pretty clear that they're they don't have each other's best interests at heart, and so you need to stay with how these nations are denominated and the people that constitute those nations, how they are made up, and you stick with that. It's important. It's important that you stick with that. Okay? So, yeah. You're not the United States, nor will you ever be. And not only that, once again, look, it is known how the government works. It is known how the economies work. Okay? So, today, we've been seeing, today and yesterday, for example, we were seeing protests. There was protests for Macron, and then there was protests over in Russia against Putin. And of course, Putin, the Russians, they cracked down on that stuff. But so what you have going on in Russia, okay, is Russia has a huge hole in their demographics, in their population. There's a whole midsection of where we have baby boomers. They don't have that. They have young people and then really old people. So the really old people are essentially the wise ones that are in power, and they are the consolidators of power. And so the younger people are getting to the age, they're getting old enough to realize, hey, we don't like the direction that you're taking the country. It's all that old think that had gotten us into a lot of desperate circumstances. You've got us deployed in places that we really don't care for, and it's for reasons that nobody. Russians have enough resources; they could benefit themselves for quite some time. But this is some other game that they're playing on how to extort money from Europe. And so the younger, Russian people are just like, look, we've had it with this Gestapo thing. We've had it with this whole control thing. We want to be free. We want to be free. I don't blame them. But this is, so in France, Macron is having problems, okay? We've talked about this before, where he gets visits from Justin Trudeau. Now, there's some things that are going to come out about Trudeau that you'll be shocked. You will be shocked. But it has something to do with the fact that Trudeau and mystery guest John Kerry were both on the Aga Khan's Island together at the same time. And you remember that was when Justin Trudeau committed felonies. Okay. So they has some explaining to do. So Justin Trudeau goes and visits Macron. He flies from Peru. They're having a big meeting of the Americas. So he flies to France and warns Macron. Oh my God. See, because Canada and France, they have a really big problem right now. They have a super huge big problem right now. First of all, France has found itself as the lapdog of Germany in the EU. France can't do anything. They can't. Now they're number 2 as far as economically and so on. But Macron sees that Merkel is weak. And he sees that May, with Brexit, is also weakened. So he sees an opening. There's an opening. I'm going to seize it. Now look, this guy might be the nicest guy. That's fine. But I have serious disagreements with how the country is run. And it's because the nations are the way government works is a known quantity. It's known how it works. It's known that these ideas that these globalist elitists have been putting forward and trying to do, they don't work. But they didn't get the memo, and so they just keep doing it over and over and over again. They just keep doing it. It doesn't work. But they've stepped in it. They've gone to that point where they cannot return from it. So Macron then goes and flips out, and he goes to the EU and scolds them. And we don't want any talk of this sovereignty, nationalism, all this stuff. They don't want any of that. Why don't they want that? Well, because that undoes everything that they've been working on to control everyone. It doesn't work out very well for them in the end, and they know it. So that's their attempt to double down. So now, fast forward to today, after he's visited the United States and said some things that blew right past some people, but didn't escape me. And it's so hilarious because these people are France. They get rid of their king, okay, and then they think back. In our day, now they think back to those times like, man, times were, wouldn't it be great to, the royal. And then they're programmed into this whole idea of, oh, well, those were good times. Well, if we can't have a king, then I'll get elected and live like a king and act like a king. That's Macron. That's what he's been doing. Spending a bunch of money, having high dollar, highbrow soirees in chateaus, the best wine and whatever. I don't care about that. I mean, I care about it as far as it's a waste and I care about it in the sense that if this guy thinks he's a king, I got news for him. No, you're not. So anyways, Macron, he's having problems now at home because now people, now that it's warming up, we have protest season coming, guys. Everybody get ready. So now all these people that are upset about, of course, immigration and they have some union issues that haven't been resolved, and he's seeing his numbers dropping in the polls. Well, obviously they're dropping, and people are to the point where it's like, okay, you're not, like, this is not working. This isn't working. And they've had it. Now, like I said, the guy's a nice enough guy, okay? And he inherited a lot of the issues that he's had to deal with. So I don't fault him for that, but I do fault him for doubling down on stupid. Don't double down on stupid. What are you doing? What are you doing? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Look, I've said this before. You take all the money in the world and you put it in your pocket, it's worthless. But if it's being spent moving around the globe and people are being clothed and fed and housed and even prospered by it, then it's worth something. But if you were the only man in the world and you had $120 trillion, it isn't worth anything. See what I'm saying? So these people have tied, we're going to secret away this money and that money. Come on. So you're stealing. It's not money that you earned. I did by agreement. No. I find that distasteful. So another one so this is a disease. This is a liberal globalist disease that's out there, and be careful not to catch it. Be careful not to catch the liberal globalist disease. Okay. Because it will have you doing things like buying elections. In Canada, I guess there's a premier for runoff for Ontario. I don't claim to be an expert on Canadian politics or their system of election. But I do know that if the person who's trying to be reelected promises huge payouts to groups if they vote for them, that's vote buying. You're buying votes. You can't do that if that isn't legitimate. So once again, I see that you're making messes that somebody else is going to have to clean up. Somebody else has to clean that up. It's disgusting. And not only that, it won't work. It won't work. Because people that do these types of things always take it one step too far. And when they step in it, like John Kerry, for example, he's actually broken the law. And it's a pretty serious law that he broke. It's pretty serious. Okay. So yeah, Kathleen Wynne, she's buying votes, vote buying. And guaranteed there's some regulations against that. Guaranteed. And so this is coming from the same group of people, okay, that socked away $7 billion. $7 billion. And they can spend that money between now and the election, but they don't have to say how they spent it until after the election. It's a scam. It's a scam. These people are going to keep trying to stay in power forever. Well, you know what? I got news for you. It isn't going to work. Boy, I tell you what, sometimes they know how to pick these photos of Michelle Obama. She looks super enraged, like she just saw some children getting good school lunches or something. Good Lord. The female version of Patrick Ewing. So I guess Lisa Page, the FBI lovebird, the Strzok and Page, I guess she's not at the FBI anymore. I suppose that's a good thing if you need to tidy up your affairs before you're prosecuted. Okay. All right. Yeah. So the Mueller special counsel is a witch hunt. We've determined that for sure. We know that Jeff Sessions is AWOL and he's in contempt. And so I guess Nunez is putting that forward. He's going to move to hold him in contempt. So this is absurd. These people need to uphold the law. Uphold the law. So there it is. Episode blah, blah, blah. Thanks for joining me. Hit me up on Patreon. Patreon.com/Childeric. And you can also subscribe via several media. YouTube has the HD version of these podcasts, which sound glorious. Hit me up on minds.com/Childeric. You can find me all over the place. Wherever you found this podcast, that's where I am. Till next time.